So my journey to Eastern Healing Arts started, gosh, over 20 some years ago, like 22, 23 years ago. I was a caregiver, probably like many of you, that I was in the middle of taking care of aging parents, had young children, and was working as a busy um, nurse in a inner city hospital over at Hahnemann. I was working intensive care nursery and was kind of sandwiched in the middle between, taking care of my family and working and really kind of getting very burned out. And I ran into another nurse who was had gone to the Eastern Healing Arts Center in Cherry Hill at the time and had gone to school for shiatsu there. And she had given me a card and she said, you should go to this clinic and try out shiatsu. And like any good caregiver nurse, what did I do with the card? I stuck it in the drawer. And about 3 months later, I was cleaning out that drawer, and lo and behold, when I needed it the most, I found the card again. And I said, you know what? I really need to go and take care of myself. And thus began my journey with Eastern Healing Arts. I went, had a shiatsu treatment, loved it. Not only did I want to go back and experiencing it again, but I said, I want to learn how to do this and help others. So I went back, started getting weekly treatments, and then enrolled in the School for Asian Bodywork Therapy. Once I got done that training, we were required to do yoga classes every week. And I had never done yoga. And remember, this is back in the late 90s when yoga wasn't on every street corner. There wasn't much information even about yoga. And when I was taking yoga, I wanted to learn more about the philosophy besides all the asanas, and there wasn't really much literature even out there. So I asked my teacher, and she said, well, there's a few books, but she said, if you want to take teacher training. And I said, I don't know if I want to be a yoga teacher, but here I go. I said, I'll go because I want to learn more of the philosophy and the history and the background of yoga. And as the it went on, I actually became a yoga teacher. So that began, and again, when you most need it the most, it finds you. So I had friends, and they came to my yoga teacher training, and of course they wouldn't let me just leave it at that. They were like, well, we love it, will you teach us? So I became a yoga instructor, and I thought at that point I wasn't really doing traditional nursing, and I went for up to a yoga ashram up in Honesdale. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Himalayan Institute. If you've never been there, it's wonderful. It was a group of nurses that were going for meditation specialist training, and I met a couple of holistic nurses, and they were like, well, why aren't you board certified holistic nurse? I'm like, well, the work I'm doing really isn't nursing. They're like, oh, yes, it is. You've just done it the hard way. You should go back and sit for your board certification. You've really already done the hard work. You just have to go and sit for the test. So I ended up doing that. And it just goes on and on and on, because when you find Eastern Healing Arts and find this, it really, you're a student for life. And part of this training that I really found was it really helped me to find something that I hadn't found in Western medicine. And that was that aspect of self-care. When I was in nursing school, I went to Hahnemann School of Nursing many years ago. They really didn't teach me how to take care of myself. They taught me how to be safe on the streets in Philly, how to take care of my patients, how to be safe dynamics and all those things. But they really didn't tell me how to take care of myself as a caregiver. It wasn't until I found Eastern Healing Arts that I really found this efficient mode of self-care that really brought that sense of really nourishing myself. So that was a little bit of my background of how I found Eastern Healing Arts.